Well, Cameroon 0, Nigeria 2. Nigeria is going to head to knock out Cameroon on the round of 16 of the African Cup of Nations, and it's really one of those games that I really felt like Nigeria had an edge to obviously go ahead and really win this game of football. So welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where you're watching us from? This is the channel that brings you the match reaction of the AFCON, and we're into the AFCON fever. And guys, stage of knockout is in. Round of 16 today, we're gonna hit to be having two games: Angola versus Namibia, then Angola, Nigeria, Cameroon. But we are focusing so much onto the Nigeria and Cameroon game. Then later, we'll obviously bring you exactly what our thoughts were for the side of Angola. But Rokani David is my name. Let's continue to obviously take this to the levels we deserve to be, and let's obviously do the needful. Now today is really a very good day that is going to hit obviously put us to where we deserve to be as a side of Africa. And me as a long-time Nigeria supporter, you know, I've been supporting Nigeria for the past 2 decades, and it's my biggest African team. And by the time I really supported them, they had Jejo Okocha, Celestine Babayalo, they had Babangida, they had Agahoa, they had Omonike, they had JJ Okocha, Taribo West, George Finidi, you know, they had very many talented players, you know, Sunday Olise, you get? So that was the time around 1998 World Cup when I said to support Nigeria because of the style of football they used to play. And I think one of the things that Nigeria has been lacking is that manager who can obviously squeeze or sieve out something from the talents they're really having. They're really having some huge talents. Some huge talents, and I don't know what exactly they're gonna do with them, but this time around it looks like they're gonna hit to click. In their first game of the group stages they played that ended I think 1-1, and Victor Osimhen went ahead to score an equalizer. They really looked disjointed, especially in the front three. Lookman, Victor Osimhen, and I think Chikwueze started off the bench, and the manager doesn't trust himself in Chikwueze. But I think as time went on through, he went ahead to obviously start Chikwueze and trust him to obviously come in through and lead the line. And today, he has gone ahead to his front three of Simeon, Osimhen, and Lookman, and he has played a system of 3-4-3, and he had Onyeka and Iwobi in that midfield. And looks like that chemistry is growing in the team of Nigeria, and they went ahead to obviously do the needful. And I think let me first show you the lineups before I obviously get into how the game of football really panned out, and I bring you the stats. Then we break down how we anticipate the rest of the people are really gonna go, especially tomorrow's fixtures. Noabili, who got an injury and was taken off, but he was a very good goalkeeper. Then Ajay, Ekong, and Basi, back three. Aina, you know, he plays for Nottingham Forest, played as a right wing back. Then Sanusi played as a left wing back. Onyeka and Iwobi in the midfield. Then the front three: Lookman left forward, Osimhen center forward, and Simon right forward. For Cameroon, they had the following, and for the second game in a row, Andre Onana has been benched by the Cameroon national team. And even when the goalkeeper, I think was and this goalkeeper Ondoa has been in goal. Then Castello, Gonzalez, and Wo played as the midfield. Sorry, the in the 3-man central defense. Then Ngamaleu played as the right wing back. Tolo played as the left wing back. Then Anguissa, you know him, plays for Napoli, played with Chiman into the midfield 2. Then Toko Ekombi right forward, and Koudu left forward, and Magri leading the line. And I saw Vincent Abubakar really making his return, but I think his return came in so late for him to obviously get to where he deserves to be. So that is it coming in through from the starting 11 of those teams, and you're going to have to anticipate and really know exactly who started and who never really went ahead to start onto that team. Now, in the 36th minute, by the way, before the 36th minute, they had gone ahead to score a goal, but that goal was really ruled out. But Victor Osimhen went ahead to obviously compose himself. After composing himself, he hit that ball and released Lookman. and Lookman went ahead to obviously finish that ball very well. Then in the 90th minute again, he went ahead to make it 2, and their connection with Victor Osimhen has been really something to talk about in this game. And I was watching a certain pundit, I think around Wednesday, Thursday, and it was like saying, this is the stage where you're going to see the class of Lookman and Victor Osimhen. Lookman is playing for Atalanta down in Italy and is one of the top scorers of the league. And Victor Osimhen is playing for Napoli, and no one doubts the quality of Victor Osimhen. And these two have combined to obviously kill off a game. And in any game, provided, get me out, provided Nigeria defend very well, Victor Osimhen and Lookman can create a moment of magic. The likes of the Chikwezi, they can create a moment of magic, because for Victor Osimhen, he's tall, he has that fast touch, he can play well with his back to goal, he can score goals himself, and he's going to hit to show us today that he's not a selfish player. You know, he reached in the space where he released Lookman, he would have gone ahead to hit that ball at the goalkeeper, but he decided to obviously go in for a line-breaking pass, and it was received very well by Lookman, and Lookman went ahead to do justice to that. So it was really a very beautiful game, and now they proceed to the quarterfinals, and I think they are gonna play Angola, if at all I'm not mistaken. But let's go to the stats and see how these two teams really went ahead to perform. Nigeria had 8 shots, and Cameroon had 6. 4 shots on target by Nigeria. Cameroon had 0 shots on target. It shows you how bad they are going forward, and this is how they missed Mbeumo into this team, because Mbeumo would have gone ahead to do a lot, and Vincent Abaka coming in through late is something that has gone ahead to affect them, because Vincent Abaka gives them that box presence, and you know they are good at those long balls and hitting those over the top balls, and he has that pace. So they missed him out because he was injured, and this is where I ask myself, why didn't they bring in Choupo-Moting? Because Choupo-Moting is the striker that went ahead to obviously play very well at the World Cup, and I don't know why they went ahead to obviously drop him, but they've been knocked out of this. And we are having 42% ball possession by Nigeria, 58% ball possession by Cameroon, but having a possession of 58 which makes it the lion's share of this possession, and having 0 shots on target doesn't really resonate well. 277 passes completed by Nigeria, 379 passes completed by Cameroon, 71% passing accuracy by Nigeria, then 19 fouls, 78% passing accuracy by Cameroon, 21 fouls by Nigeria, 19 fouls by Cameroon, 2 yellow cards to Nigeria and 2 yellow cards for Cameroon. I have to work through and really see who exactly got those yellow cards. 0 red cards to both sides, 4 offsides to Nigeria and 0 offsides to Cameroon. Nigeria really shows you that they are really more hungry than Cameroon. 3 corners by Nigeria and 1 corner by Cameroon. So that's how everything really went ahead to pan down in Abidjan, Ivory Coast, where this game of football really went ahead. It was the Stade Felix, and it really went ahead to go on like that. Now, there is one big factor I have to talk about. It's Andre Onana. Andre Onana has been a player that has gone ahead to obviously get in a lot of criticism at Man United and at Cameroon. The manager himself has gone ahead to drop him, having gone ahead to really see his team lose 3-1. I think they lost to which team? So after losing that, he dropped him. They went through 3-2 by beating, I think, was it Guinea something? Was it Gambia? Right? And then they went in through. But I told people, Andre Onana is not the problem. And whoever thinks that Andre Onana is the problem, then he's really one of those that doesn't really know what the game of football is all about. So even at Man United, Andre Onana is not the problem. Even today, Andre Onana has been out. They never had a shot on target, and they conceded 2. So are they going to come out and really blame Andre Onana? The answer is no. The fact is, this side of Cameroon is having what we call structural problems, and the manager needs to obviously find himself in a better position of obviously getting something better from these players. if you're having Anguissa in that midfield, then you need to come up with a system that can obviously see him play better. And I think Anguissa should be played as a central attacking midfielder for the side of Cameroon. And Cameroon should find those two sitting midfielders in a double pivot. That is it. So those are things that are really common knowledge. And you can't tell me that in the entire Cameroon squad, they don't have players who are really good with their ball on the feet. That team of Mboma, Samuel Eto'o, Mark Vivian Foe the late, Mbami, Song Bilong, they were players who are really hard players, and they are those that really were flamboyant players like Eto'o. When Eto'o got that ball, he could obviously do or create a moment of magic. So, you remember the likes of Esu Ekotos, those left backs that were really elite. But nowadays, their quality is really very, very diminishing. And I think Eto'o has to do something important to really get himself moving. Because if you tell me that a national team is going to have to lose two players and they're really struggling, that is Mbeumo of Bournemouth, sort of Brentford, that got an injury, and the other player is what's his name? Vincent Abubakar, that the team is struggling going forward, then that shows you that you are telling us the entire team of Cameroon is really lacking quality. That is it. So I don't really believe in that. I believe Cameroon can do better, and they're having better quality players. But the first game of football was between Angola and Namibia, and Angola went ahead to really win this game of football by 3-1. And both teams got red cards, but guess what? Angola got a red card in the 17th minute, and Namibia were one more player than them. And guess what? Gelson Dalla, in the 38th minute, after Angola got a red card, he made it 1 for Angola. Then Lookman also was sent off of Namibia in the 40th minute, and then 2 minutes later, Dalla went ahead to double the lead, and then Mabululu went ahead to score in the 60th minute to make it 3-0 for the side of Angola. Now Angola is going to have to go through, and they are set to face Nigeria on the 2nd of February. And this is going to be a very beautiful game, because Angola has shown us that they play a very expansive game of football, and we just can't wait to see who is going to get in through. I think Nigeria are going to face it hard. They're going to be facing a side that is fearless. They play a high line, and they obviously call in people to do the needful. So that's what I had for you here onto the Rokani Media Football. That's the match reaction. Nigeria is going to hate to knock out Cameroon. Victor Osimhen and Lookman have gone ahead to destroy Cameroon, and they've been on fire, and they've gone ahead to see Nigeria play in the quarterfinals. But will they overcome the side of Angola to play in the semifinals? Because the next stage is really very crucial, but I think a lot is going to be played. Tomorrow, Egypt is playing DRC as Guinea is playing Equatorial Guinea. I'm out.